Ron Johnson's more vulnerable now today than he's ever been before. And we have to take full advantage, but it won't be based on how bad Ron Johnson is. This is going to be about our values and our vision for a better Wisconsin, for a better United States of America. The thing Ron Johnson doesn't understand, that all of us in this room and everybody outside in all 72 counties across this great state have so much more in common with each other than we will ever have with a self-serving, out-of-touch, multimillionaire politician like Ron Johnson. Now, this isn't about red or blue. It's not about left or right. It's not always about black or white. This is about the folks who have been at the top and the rest of us who've been left at the bottom. We have an opportunity right now to rebuild the middle class, to give everyone in this country a fair shot at the American dream, to bring manufacturing back home, to support our family farms like never before, to create thousands of good-paying union jobs by tackling the climate crisis and investing in clean energy. We also have the opportunity to protect the right to choose once and for all by making Roe versus Wade the law of the land. I tell you, I believe that better is possible. I know that all of you believe the same thing. It's exactly why you're here today. And I'm here to tell you that we're not alone in this fight. I'm so proud that this campaign has been endorsed by over 160 elected officials, union leaders, and family farmers across Wisconsin. I've been endorsed by some of our state's largest unions, like SEIU, AFSCME, IBEW, and AFT Local 212. And then by some of our nation's leading champions for working people, so people like Senator Cory Booker, Senator Elizabeth Warren, and our very own Congresswoman Gwen Moore. So just like 4 years ago when we got rid of Scott Walker, I tell you, this November, if you join me, I promise you, we will get rid of Ron.
You know, the real culprit here is Ron Johnson, because Ron Johnson is the one that said, you know, ladies, if you don't like it, you should move. Ron, I've got news for you. We're the majority, we're not moving, but we're going to send you packing this November. And it's clear Ron Johnson just doesn't give a damn about us. And we need somebody in Washington who's going to get things done. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, starting with cutting costs for working families. I mean, we have seen corporations like Big Oil and Big Pharma that are making record-breaking profits, but yet working families are struggling. And Ron Johnson just doesn't have the guts to stand up to corporate greed, but I do. I want to get things done for working families like affordable child care, paid family leave, and affordable senior care. And quite frankly, if we had more working moms at that U.S. Senate table, this would have been done years ago. And not to be controversial, but, you know, I believe in science. And I believe we have to do everything we can to fight the climate crisis. Well, Ron Johnson's calling it BS. People will tell me, you know, Sarah, running for the U.S. Senate is hard, but getting things done is even harder. I have been underestimated my entire life. And whenever someone has told me what I can't do, I've shown them what I can do. When I stepped up to run for state treasurer as a political nobody from Eau Claire, I flipped more Trump counties than the governor, lieutenant governor, and attorney general. And then when I walked into my office, I can't make this up, they had wires hanging down from the ceiling, the Republicans cut off my Wi-Fi, and they gave me a pay-as-you-go flip phone. But I didn't let that stop me. You know, one of my first major actions was overturning a Republican gag order on climate change and then investing in renewable energy projects. I also started a home ownership program to help Wisconsinites buy, fix, and stay in their homes. And I introduced bipartisan legislation so every kid in the state of Wisconsin could get a savings account called 401 Kids. And despite the Republicans' obstacles to make sure that I couldn't do anything, I still did for Wisconsin. Because growing up in a union family, you learn never to back down from a fight, not even a tough one.
So you see, the spirit that Kenita expressed to me, this idea that we can build great things together, Ron Johnson just doesn't get that. He gave tax breaks to his rich donors while raising taxes on the middle class. He's attacked organized labor, spread lies about COVID, tried to overthrow the government, and he's even advocating to ship Wisconsin jobs to South Carolina. But what we did show is that progressive values are good for business and, more importantly, good for workers. Because I don't think we have to choose between fighting for the causes we believe in or focusing on bread and butter issues that make families' lives better every day. We need to do both. We need to end the filibuster to codify Roe v. Wade. We need to end the filibuster to pass the John Lewis Voting Rights Act. And we need to end the filibuster to protect our kids from gun violence, while at the same time, we've got to make sure every family has access to clean water, high-speed internet, and we've got to pass Tammy Baldwin's Dairy Pride Act. See, we can't just do some of it, we've got to do all of it. And that brings me to the kind of race I've been running and the one we plan to win. And while Milwaukee and Madison are important, I'm going to continue to focus on making sure that we're visiting union halls in Racine, VFW halls in Green Bay, and small businesses in Hudson. Because Democrats have the best idea for all Wisconsinites, and we should have the confidence to say so. My daughter Eleanor, she's just 10 months old. And when I look at her, I'm not thinking about November. I'm thinking about 10 years from now, or 20 years from now. Will she grow up in Ron Johnson's Wisconsin, where communities are pitted against each other, where politicians rob women of the right to make their own health care choices, and kids live in fear of gun violence, where the rich get richer and everyone else has to fend for themselves? Or will Eleanor grow up in the Wisconsin we believe in, the Wisconsin we love, and fear is slipping away? I'm asking for your vote because together we won't just fight for our values, we'll deliver. And one day we'll look at our kids in the eye and we'll tell them about all of the things that we accomplished together. How we built a stronger, fairer, more democratic Wisconsin. And together we'll say, we helped build that. How cool is that? Thank you.
I'm not the weak beard. I'm the Democrat who alone among the candidates has consistently campaigned on Medicare for all as the only way to fix our broken system. I'm the only candidate here who's spoken out against Line 5, a rotten artery of fossil fuels fueling catastrophic climate change in the North Woods. I'm the only candidate who has opposed Donald Trump's racist Title 42 immigration policy that turns back refugees based on bad faith COVID BS. I'm the only one who has called for a new dairy revitalizing pricing system so we can finally stop the annihilation of the small Wisconsin family farm. And after Friday's abomination of a decision sending women back to the dark ages, I'm proud to be the only candidate who has said we need to expand the Supreme Court. To beat Ron Johnson, we will need someone who can grow and expand our margins and win in places where we used to win. We have to win in places like Outagamie County, home of Joe McCarthy, where I've won 6 times and where I helped save 300 union jobs, as I documented in this book. Places like Polk County, where my dairy farm grandparents revered Gaylord Nelson. Now, we know we're facing strong headwinds, and that's why to win, my fellow Democrats, we need a strong Wisconsin beer candidate, especially at a time when Americans are rightfully frustrated by a Washington that doesn't look out for them. 2/3 of the Senate are millionaires like Ron Johnson, whose money has distanced themselves from the hopes and dreams and pain of working families. So I urge you this morning to join our bold, homegrown, Wisconsin-driven, spotted cow campaign, because I'll tell you this, if we do serve weak beer this November, we are all in for one hell of a hangover.